Hello and good morning and happy Thursday. We're here with new streaming network, home of Going Solo, Going Bold, WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network Radio. Welcome to Your Health Vibes with Elana. And I'm Elana, your host with, oh my gosh, Your Health Vibes with Elana. Today, my journey is to raise your heart, body, and soul vibes to the next level so you can transform your life today. And today, our topic is being seen and heard starts within you. And today, we are here with the one, the only, my sister, Jackie.
So excited to be here.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. Woo.
That doesn't work on mine, but okay, I'll just do my own.
Well, hello, Jackie. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited for today. My heart is so happy to be doing this podcast with you.
I'm so excited to be here, and I mean, our energy. Gosh, we're gonna have to get some buckets of water to put out the fire throughout this one.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. So I always love my guests to kind of tell a little blurb about themselves because I think you guys can tell about you a lot better than me reading a paper. So Jackie, can you kind of tell a little bit about yourself? Because I love you and I want the world to know about you.
It's so funny you say that because I can't tell you how many times I've turned to my clients and been like, can you tell them what I do? Because sometimes I don't fully understand what I do, but I know I do some really cool stuff, right? But I'm Coach Jackie. I come from a 30-year background of the restaurant industry and leadership management, which you would think logically I would go into teaching leadership into the coaching world. But when I transitioned and the best day of my life got fired back in 2018, August 2018, I ended up betting on myself and moving into a business, creating a business that comes from all of the skills and talents that I had in that industry. But it was more so the development of the person, the seeing that they have this power within them, holding that gift of belief up for them until they got there. And I promoted hundreds and hundreds of people there. But now I get to do it on my own terms. I get to do what I want, when I want, whenever I want, without having to ask for permission from anyone. And that's what I want to help other people do the same, where they really empower, awaken that version of us inside that's most likely dormant at some point. She's just dying to come out and play, and then empower her and then own the heck out of her unapologetically in this world. And that's just really a place of true freedom. I call myself the freedom mentor for that reason, but it's really an inside game, right? To become freedom, to be free to be you. And Elana, man, if there's anyone that I can talk about free to be you, that's you. you completely show up as you unapologetically, which is freaking amazing.
Well, thank you so much, Jackie, for that and showing up here. And, I really love what you stand for. You so unapologetically yourself. And I think that's why we mesh so well is there's no bullshit. You get what you get on screen and off screen, here to support and love and honor. And, with our talk, being seen and heard really starts within yourself. And with all this, can you maybe tell us a little bit about your journey, how you really had to finally show up for yourself and knowing where it starts with you opposed to, I think so many times we want to hear from this person or that person and get that gratification, but we need that gratification deep where it starts with ourselves.
Yeah. I don't think I didn't know until I knew that I really did not truly love myself, right? And that started back, I got fired in August 2018, and then I had met the coaching industry before that, like I'd mentioned. And so I took about 6 months off afterwards and just kind of traveled a little bit and this and that and realized, okay, I never want to go back to a job because I don't have the freedom to be able to do what I want. So I dove right in just February 2019. And I tell you that because I dove in thinking, okay, hired my first one-on-one coach. It was like, teach me how to build a business. You have a business. I want it. Great. And the first, I would say about 9 months of working with her, I have crying stains on my bed from being in tears for 9 months. And that sounds horrible, but at the same time, it was all of the healing I needed. And I didn't realize I needed in myself to be able to do the thing called the business. It's only 20% is strategy, 80% is between these two ears and what we believe in ourselves and our stories and our inner and all the things that stop us from truly being who we're meant to be. And when someone said to me, the being part of life, all I knew was most of us come to the table with the doing, right? We do to have, we go to work to have a job, we make a paycheck, we do this, da 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 da. But when someone said like, okay, you just got to start being more, I'm like, what the frick does that mean? And so I was like, being, I had to be busy. And
Yeah.
when I learned what being was, really truly understanding the concept of being with yourself, like taking time for self. So I don't know. I got to tell you this real quick story, like this
Yes,
nourishment
please.
list. I created this nourishment list back then because I didn't know how to be. Okay. And being is like, okay, go take a walk, take a bath, a shower. I'm not a bath girl because it's like sitting in chicken soup, but that's besides the point. But my coach was like, you don't like baths? I'm like, no, I don't. Sorry. It gets cold. And I'm like, then I'm sitting in cold chicken soup. What the frick?
Right?
So, but I like showers. I do wash, I swear. But, but the nourishment list, like I had to put things that are really basic, like call a friend, like play with the dogs, because I was so far removed from wanting to be with myself. And I didn't realize it until I was challenged to spend time with myself and do something called mirror work, where I had to like tell myself in the mirror that I love myself. Right. So this is the first like year of this journey when I think I'm going to be like, now, remember, I got fired. So I have no job. I have no income coming in. And I'm still trying to figure out how to do this thing called business. And I was meeting all these people making no money. And I'm like, why am I not? It was all the it was all the inside stuff, right?
Yeah.
When I finally clicked and I finally did the whole, I love you. And I started bawling in the mirror. Like it took me like, have you ever done mirror work where like you're looking at yourself, right? Okay. So I'm doing this thing. I love you. Like, I love you, looking to the left, looking to the right, looking up, like not looking at my eyes whatsoever. So when I looked at my eyes and finally like locked in on the fact, I realized in that moment, I did not like being with myself. And I did everything to keep myself so busy and distracted doing that I did not want to be. And so as I gained that knowledge and then started practicing, which is I really started to slowly build this like connection with myself. It wasn't overnight. Like, it takes time. It takes like really shifting the behaviors of like, oh, I can fit something to do here to avoid myself. No, look at yourself, like spend time and do my own healing. I mean, and I also had, my relationship was the one I'm currently with. We were broken up, living in separate rooms when all of this was going down. Wow. And at that, we are still together 9.5 years later because of the work I did on myself. So, and married 2 years as of yesterday. 2 days ago.
Happy anniversary. I love it. And I'm celebrating my 2 months.
I know. It's awesome.
Wedding stuff as well. Thank you so much for that. Now, with all this, we really need to start with ourselves and looking in the mirror. And what really pushed you more, like when you didn't want to move forward and, you're looking at this and it is hard. And, we want that instant gratification. We want that instant fix. Is there any stories that really or someone that you could rely on, not relying on like with yourself, but seeing someone, was there a role model or was there someone that helped you along this way? I know we're starting from ourselves, but when we're feeling like this, it is hard to ask for help. It is hard to look at ourselves. What allowed you to look at yourself and maybe reach out for that help?
I will tell you that I did all, when I started the coaching journey, I did the whole group program to learn how to be a life and health coach. And then I did the bigger group program to learn like the inner work, childhood work, all the different things to like, that I could help people with. So the skill side of it, wasn't until I hired my personal coach, and doing what it is I do now for people, that really having that support. It's kind of like a three-legged stool, right? You've got support, accountability, and a curated system that is curated to you, not like everybody else across the world. And you don't hide when it's one-on-one. You hide in a group program. Like you can hide behind things and you don't truly have to go there, like to the places that you really got to go to peel back the layers, to release the stuff. And that I really truly relied on that. The second part of that is that building the communities and meeting the women that I've met. When you're healing and you're working on yourself, there's a different quality human you meet and attract. Ooh. And that community that I met to this day is still some of my like closest friends. And I had, I was in a business where I met thousands of people a week in the industry that I was in. And yet none of those people are in my life today in comparison to the people I've made over this last 6-year journey and the community that I have. Like there's a difference of quality of what you meet and keep in your life when you are more in tune with yourself and you are more healed with yourself. So when I had those moments of like, what the am I doing? Like, like and all that stuff, like I tapped into both the community and my one-on-one coach at the time, that and my partnership. But I will tell you, I mean, being really honest, it wasn't until about 2 years ago that my partner and I finally, and that's of course when he asked me to marry him, when we finally came to this place that we truly allowed each other to fully love each other. Like I wasn't allowing myself to fully love another human or allowing anyone to fully love me because abandonment issues and a lot of loss as a child. And, you know, it was safer to keep people like this, like not this, like this. And that was friendships, and that was relationships. And I was happy Jackie. I mean, everyone's like, oh, she's doing great. But I never had anybody close enough. Like I let myself get close enough until this one. And it took me like 6 of the years of our relationship to get there. You know, it wasn't until year 7.
No, that's
yeah.
Well, maybe you can expand on that a little bit, like just in general, when you have a partner and showing up, and when we're working on ourselves, it's hard because we want to show up for them as well. Where was the turning point? Or maybe you can give some little gems or nuggets of when you're in a relationship like this, you have to be seen and heard with yourself, but how do you let someone else in to see you?
Yeah, it's so funny. In year 3, when I started the coaching journey for myself, that's when I started my like one-on-one coaching for myself. Because we're always our first client as coaches. Like we have to walk the walk before we're gonna really help you, you know, serve you. So, and I wrote a letter of what I wanted in a companion, because I was like, this is like not working, right? I'm like, so what do you? My coach said, what do you want in a companionship? And I removed his face, anybody's face, and I wrote down everything I desired in a companionship with another human. And it was interesting. Then I had to flip it on myself. I was like, so we say we want this from a partner. And I was like, but do you, like you say, I want mutual, I want respect, and I want them to like adore me for who I am. Well, do you adore you for who you are?
Yes.
Do you respect you? Like, do you? So I had to turn that list on myself, and that made me go, and I sat with him and I said, okay, listen, I'm going to tell you what's going on in my brain right now, and what's going on. And I read this whole thing, and I said, I'm going to do me. You're going to do you. And if we're still standing in the end, that's great. If we're not, that's okay too. And I was bawling when I was saying this, obviously.
Yeah.
And I risk, in that point, a lot of times when we start the journey of self-development and growth of like the true inner work, we do risk losing people in our lives because we grow apart. We grow in different directions, or we grow together. And so the best part of this, by the way, is I didn't have to tell him to do anything. I didn't have to, which was all I was doing for 6 years, by the way. I mean, for the first 3 years. But I didn't have to say a word. I knew in my soul and my heart of what I desired to create for myself. And all of a sudden, he just started shifting. He started doing things differently. He started because my energy was different, right?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't coming home going, like I was away a lot for my jobs. I wasn't coming home going, you could do more, you can do better, you can do this. And like, I love you. And I think you're amazing, but you could be doing this. And you could be all he's hearing is like, I'm not good enough.
Yes.
Because I was projecting all of my own, I'm not good enough, all of my own BS. But I was putting it in terms of how he could improve, not me. Right. So I'm like,
something right.
I'm like, we don't look at us. We just gotta fix everybody else, right? And so when I finally flipped the script and flipped those fingers back at myself, that's when everything, and I can't stress enough that when you take care of you and you focus on you and you fill your cup and all the things you've heard before, it is not bullshit. It is so true that everybody else benefits around you, and you don't even have to do a thing to help them benefit. It just happens because of the energy that you have shifted and that you're projecting, that you're putting out there in the world. It happens magically, as I say.
Yes.
Magically. Your communication gets better. People understand you more. People connect with you more because of you getting back to you and really owning and loving who you are. And so, yeah. And one of the biggest turning points for that, for me, figuring out it was me, was that piece of going, like recognizing that like I did not like to be with myself. I'm like, okay, so how can I but how can I shift that? Right. Where is it? And then we worked through that, and then everything else started changing.
I love that you say that, and I love how it's that you're not fixing it. So you're changing the energy, you're changing how you communicate, because I feel so many times, being seen and heard starts yourself. You're trying to change yourself for someone. We're people pleasing. We're doing this. We're showing up different. It's like, what I love about you, you walk the walk, you talk the talk, and you show up, no matter if it's hard or not. And I feel we run away so many times when things get hard. But what I love that you say is that you're not changing who you are. You're changing the trajectory of it. You're changing the story of how you get to show up, and you have a choice of how want to. I think that's the biggest thing with my mom and dad. They've always said, it's all on how you make it. You have that choice. You choose how you show up. You can choose how you, and sometimes we like to play the victim for me because we are not choosing ourselves.
Yep. And, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe you can expand a little bit more on that of, like, as you said, we really have to start within, like, maybe from a young age, we can teach them at a younger age. I think at preschool, kindergarten, we could start doing mirror work in a different way, just, and each day the kids get to come in and say one thing they like about themselves, and start it off like that. So maybe you can expand on how we can help the up and coming, kids and people to, start at your age to really see themselves.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. That's a beautiful mission right there. To get to, they still gotta, experience their journey and go through life, and they're going to still have their, like, fall down, get back up. 100%. But if they can, it's so funny. Every client that I work with, or any group program, like, I always start with, like, celebrations. What are we celebrating? What are we grateful for? What do we appreciate? And I can't tell you how hard it is the first few sessions for people to answer that question, because they're in this space that, like, things are really hard, like, life is really tough. And it's not the victim, like, I don't really work with victim mentality folks, like, you definitely don't. I like Twitch, but there's I'm very big on radical responsibility for self, and helping people see what does that really look like. And radical responsibility for self is, like, there's 3 places that our mind likes to live. Our mind likes to live in the past, that we cannot change. Can we all agree that anything that's happened up to this point, we cannot physically change? Like, we can't. We can take what we like, put it in our suitcase, move forward with it, and leave all the other stuff back there. Like, we don't have to bring everything, every experience, everything with us. It's a choice, to your point. Yes. The second place we love to live is in the future worries that haven't even happened yet. Like, it loves to be in, like, oh, what if this and what if this? And that only happens, a child only thinks that way because of the influence that's been surrounding them of what has created their belief system, right? Now, their belief system could start very young, at like me at 5, when mom passed away. I felt abandonment, but I'm not going to blame my mom for passing away and be, like, mad at her for it. But there is a portion of me that, like, lost a very large, connection. And then I was tossed around to babysitters. I was all these things. So I felt like I was a burden and I was abandoned. And I became very fiercely independent because of it, which is a gift and a challenge at the same time, Yeah. So that second place of living in the place of where we worry, it's so insane how powerful our brain is, because you can worry about something so much, like, it's real, and your body will feel it, and you will have the emotions and the feelings like it's already happened. And I can't tell you how many clients, even my brother was a client with me at one point. He was so worked up over something, like, he felt like it was already happening. I'm like, this hasn't even happened yet. Yeah. See how your brain is so powerful. It's making your body feel that it's already happened. Now, here's the cool part. If our brain can do that for the worry, imagine what it can do for our desires. Yes. And that's the third place. The third place is our vision and our desires, and where we want, what do we want to feel? What do we want to experience? What do we want to see, taste, touch, all the other things? Like, what is it like to be somebody who stands in their confident decisions no matter what the outcome, who stands in the fact that they get to say no with no explanation necessary, that they empower the fact that this is my boundary and that's okay, that, and then owns it, like, wears the clothes they want to wear, does the things they want to do, and then doesn't question it, clicks the button to go live no matter what they frickin' look like. It doesn't matter. Yes. Like, they just embrace it because they have a message to share. How would that feel? And you get to feel that today. And Oof. It doesn't like it's not like this for, if you can feel it as a worry, you can feel it as a desire. So I don't know about you. Well, I do know you, Elana. We want to live in the most fun place ever.
Yes.
Right?
With joy.
And that's the future desires. Yes. So when you're in this place, the past or the future worries, it's we're human. It's going to happen.
Yes.
You get to decide, to Lena's point, like you get to decide, you have a choice of where you get to live. Like what
Ooh.
There's another story of like, what wolf will you feed? Will you feed the worry wolf or the one that's, the future desires? Which one are you going to feed? And so it's your choice. And that's radical responsibility. So when people try to say, well, this and this, and I was like, what could you do different? Where do
Yeah.
you, like, what could you have received different? Could you have responded instead of reacted? And it's not from blame and shame. It's
Right.
curiosity, no judgment. What have I learned, and what could I have done different, and how could I see this different? Radical responsibility for self.
Yes. And I love that. And I love that you say curiosity, because I think so many times we need to be more curious and show up that way. Is there any way you can kind of expand on that curiosity and showing up for yourself, opposed to, when we write that story, but if we're curious about it, it writes a different story.
It's so funny you picked that word out of everything I said, because that is my number one value of my business. Like
Yes.
we did a values lessons with another polka dot, and it was like the first one that blared off the page was curiosity, then authenticity, trust, and fun. And if I geek out over this stuff, by the way. I geek out
I
over
love you. I love that you do that. That makes my heart so happy. Like, geek away. Like, we need more of this.
I want every woman to geek out about themselves. And what I mean by that is like, that's the curiosity. That's the, okay, I used to think this way, and now I think this. Like, I used to react this way to my husband, but now I responded this way. I paused. I didn't react. And you get to go, yay me! Like, you get to be like so excited that little shift, a little shift in like, even just, it doesn't, every little thing. So curiosity create. Yes. Oh, I love it. I need to figure out how to do that on mine. But the curiosity piece, it's important to attach the words no judgment with it too, because we get curious about things, and then all of a sudden, like, we go into judgment zone in our head, like, of like whatever. But get so uber curious. This pertains to like so many women at my age. I'm in 53 in July, and it's like we're in this journey of being curious about our health, right? And by the way, 50s are the best. Those of you women who if you don't think 50s are the best, call me. I'll tell you how the 50s are the best. I will show you. I will teach you. I will help you see that this is like the best decade. But instead of just a really easy example to understand is, you go to the doctor, you tell them this and this is happening, and they say, oh, it is what it is, it's your age, and here's some medicine.
Yep.
And we could take that answer because that's what we've been taught, or we can go, I'm going to go get curious of what else. And so you explore other avenues. You explore blood work with alternative, like with hormone stuff, with this and that, and that's your. And then there's the curiosity, no judgment of like, okay, I put the event out and nobody signed up. Nobody bought the program. You can be judgy, or you can be curious. Okay, what energy was I in when I launched it? Was I in a desperation mode? Was I in a, oh my gosh, like, didn't believe in myself? Or was I in a place of like, this is going to be so much fun, I'm so excited, I'm going to put it out there, da, da, da. Right. Or do we automatically judge ourselves for being wrong? Like, where are we making ourselves wrong? Like, how, like, where, ask yourself a question, like, where are you making, in everyday life, where are you making yourself wrong? Because you're not. You're not wrong. You're just living life. So,
where do you think that comes in from? Like, these things, like your surroundings, or, when we show up, we should be excited, sometimes, like, you're putting this out, being proud, but then the itty shitty bitty committee comes in, and then they're writing that story, and so being curious, how do you maybe tell some, like, that's not the story, that's not the truth, but so much, we could go on for hours.
Lots of out loud conversations with myself. Like, literally, like, in the moment, I'll be like, oh, that's interesting. You think that, okay, I understand that you're trying to keep me, because most of our negative, quote unquote, not really negative, but like the thoughts that don't serve us anymore, when they come up, they're keeping us safe for some other past reason. Because everything that's been created in us comes from love, safety, and belonging. Our brain is trying to keep us safe, loved, and belong in the world. That's pretty much it. And it's cut and dry. It's like, you think this way because the brain's trying to keep you safe. Like I said, when it says, oh, don't put that out there, like that's just like, if they see you and like, and they might judge you, and that could cause pain and you won't belong in society, so don't do
Right.
it. Okay. That sounds really dramatic, but that's really what our brain's doing. It's keeping us from pain, and it's helping us prevent pain of judgment and all the other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you get to pause and you can go, I know. I literally talk to my brain. I go, I see you're trying to keep me safe. Can you go sit in that chair over there? Like, I literally put them in another chair, and I say, I recognize you, because when we ignore it and we defeat it or we yell at it, it comes back with a vengeance. So I just
Yeah.
acknowledge it, and I say, okay, I understand why you're here, but today I choose different. I'm going to try this out, and it's okay. I'll be okay. And I literally talk to the resistance, and I say, I understand why you're here. This is another way. Now, there's an exercise too that I do often. I don't do it as often now, but I did it a lot in the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's like, you take a piece of paper, you fold it in half, and on one side you're writing all of the lies that we tell ourselves, or like the old stories.
Yeah.
And then I rewrite them to a new story on the right side of the page. And when you rewrite them, then you rip them in half. You take the old stories or the lies, whatever you want to call them, and you go burn that. And you
Yeah.
take the new story and you put it on your fridge. And you put it with a magnet on your fridge. I remember in the beginning, my stepkids were like, they weren't my stepkids at the time, but my husband's kids at the time were like, what is going on? There's like 7 lists on the fridge. And I'm like, well, I need to work on myself. I can't think about what you're going to think about me. So
Right.
this is my journey. And over time, you rewire the neural pathway. Like, you basically are teaching your brain to, like, it's okay, it's safe, like, I'm going to decide different today. Thank you. I'm going to choose different. But if you don't give yourself the chance to look at what the different could be and create the vision, the other side, the possibilities, the desires, if you don't let yourself play in that land, the brain knows no different. It only knows the known. And so
Yeah.
we got to teach it a different version of what we desire to experience versus what we are experiencing.
Ooh, I love that you say what we're desiring to experience than what we're experiencing, because we write those stories. We always, we're always thinking, what if this, what if that, opposed to living in the present. Do you have any other stories, or maybe when you're younger, you're resilient, or something that really struck a chord for you to be where you're at today, talking to little Jackie and big Jackie, like where, you're super, I mean, we're always proud of ourselves, but is there like a correlation from little Jackie to Jackie now of how proud and what you see, or what you would tell little Jackie now at this kind of realm? I always like to talk to my little Elana and healing and showing up for her. And how do you show up for yourself in that way?
That's a great question. 2 things come up for me when you say that. One is about, I refer to myself as the I got it girl, and now I'm a recovering I got it girl. Okay, so the I got it girl, from the age of 7, because Dad was running a construction company. I was the baby of a bunch of kids, the 6 of us, and eventually 2 stepkids. But everybody was living their lives, and if I wanted to eat, I had to figure out how to cook. If I wanted to, and I'd find a way to make something that I maybe observed. If I needed laundry, I had to run the laundry machine. You know what I mean? If I had to get to school, I had to figure out how to get to school. Like, where would I, where's the bus? And I had to do a lot of it on my own. So it created this fierce independence in me, which has created this amazing woman who created a great life, had a lot of fun, did it independently, paid for everything since she was 14 and all that jazz, right?
Right.
And I'm so grateful and so proud of that version of myself who made it happen. Like we always say, and didn't ask for any help, did it all alone. At least she thought she did it. Thought she did it all alone. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's what I tell her now is that it's safe to lead. She was in a place of control, from a place of survival and fear. She was surviving, and she'd control everything because she feared not being able, no one else was there to help her. So when that woman can release that and step into a place of love, joy, surrender, and trust, she can recover. She can take all of the great pieces that she got from that way of being that she survived, and all good stuff, except the fact that she wouldn't let anybody love her. She wouldn't get too close to anybody. She wouldn't let relationships in. It wasn't safe. It was missing. Like, I'd have these relationships. I'd get in these relationships with men that I absolutely would never settle down with. But I'd say, I want to get married and I want to do all the things my friends are doing. And I never, ever chose. I mean, we could do a whole podcast on that.
You'll be
But
back on for sure.
the other side of it was like what I know now is that
Mhm.
we get to come from a place of trust, love, and surrender, and let other people support us, allow ourselves to feel love and not be afraid of the loss of it, where we get to truly experience the peace amongst the chaos of life. Like, I get to have the calm amongst the crazy. Like, the duality of life is so important. We need both sides. And so now, being the recovering I got a girl, I've shifted from this place of constantly, even in the masculine energy of like controlling everything in my relationship, was like I can fix it, I got it, oh, that financial thing, no, I'll take care of it. And then I'd layer more and more stress on myself to take care of everything. And my poor man was like, I just want to support you, like I just
Yeah.
want to be. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I got it, no. And finally, when I say like literally 7 years in, I finally let go. And especially last year, I had to let go. I had no capacity because I was caring for my dad, caring for my mom, caring for my
Right.
stepdaughter. I had to let him like step in and do the thing. And he always wanted, it's not that he didn't want to, right?
Right.
Um, and that was the most beautiful thing. Now, the woman who is recovering I got it girl, she lets herself receive, and she lets herself receive from others so powerfully. And she doesn't feel like she's got to, like, that feeling of like when someone does something nice, you're like, I gotta do something nice back, I gotta buy them this, I
Yes.
gotta buy them flowers. No, you don't. Like,
No,
let them
just
just be
receive.
kind, like
Mhm.
receive.
Yeah.
And I experienced that so much this past 18 months, and it feels so good. Because
Yes.
this is gonna sound cocky to a lot of you, listen up, because I'm the gift.
Yes, you are.
So
Yes,
when
you
I'm in your
are.
presence, I'm a gift in your
Yes.
presence. And to
Mhm.
say that out loud and mean it, it took me all 6 years.
Yeah, when you say it, it's confident. It's not bullshit, and that's what I love about you. You're not just saying this to get clients or do, because everybody has their own shit and showing up, and that's what I love. You can generally feel that from you. You generally show up, and to receive is very hard. That's something I'm working on. Or I was just talking to someone the other day. It's like I love to give compliments, but I feel someone like has to say it right back, or I'm hitting on them. Like I love to give women compliments. I'm like, oh my god, you're beautiful. I'm like, and then you get this look, and then I don't want to be with you. I'm not trying to hit on you. I just want you to say thank you. Or it's like so quick to, I said to someone the other, I love your glasses. And they're great. Oh my God, I love your glasses. It was like they couldn't even hear my compliment
Yes.
right away. They had to shoot it out. I mean, we're all guilty at that. But I
Yep.
love what you said, that you are the gift. You are that gem. You do deserve all this. And I can hear it when you receive it. It's such a it's not cocky. It's a beautiful message because you are being seen and heard with yourself. And I see that.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And like a great example recently, when I did a East Coast 4 weeks on the East Coast, I had a retreat in the Outer Banks that I was running, but I always visit like all my East Coast because I'm a Jersey girl at heart.
Yeah,
And I
you
have like Maryland friends. I got like up and down the East Coast. So, and I went to college in Maryland. So all sorts of people everywhere. And I stay in people's houses when I visit, right? I don't get a
Mhm.
Airbnb. I stay at people's houses. And watching the joy on their face for them to be able to give me a place to stay, to cook for me. One even did my laundry,
Yeah.
doing all this stuff. Like, and I didn't like pause when I didn't say, no, you don't have to worry about that. Like I said, oh, that'd be great. Thank you so much. I so appreciate you. The gift on their face to be able to do that for me is a gift. And when we deny people of that, like when we deny people the ability to do kind things for others, it's actually an insult. It's actually
Yes.
rude.
Hmm.
And I didn't realize how many times like I was rude back to people, not letting them do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a gift to let people do for you, because I will always, and I don't have to justify this, but what comes in this way will probably go out this way, right? So I'll
Mhm.
give and do for this person over here. Energetically, it comes around from this person over here to me.
Right.
And if we can just trust that energy is always being exchanged, it doesn't have to be transactional. It gets to
Yeah.
be flow.
Yes. Yeah, I love that you say that, because I feel like we always have to show up transactionally. We can't just accept, we can't receive. And I think it's society, it's how we grow up, or what you see around. It's like you want to honor someone. So people just want to be seen and heard. And
Yes.
and you acknowledge yourself for that, but when you get to receive it back or accept, I agree, it's just accepting the compliment, accepting. For my wedding, I got an assistant, and she would have sorry, I'm going to say it out loud, everybody. She would have wiped my ass if I would have asked her to, you know, but, but, you know, showing up, and I said, we're equal. I don't want you to think anything. I'm so appreciative. And I said, today I'm going to allow myself to receive, because normally I would have been like, no, you don't have to, or, oh, I could do it, or I'm the one showing up for it. It was like so nice. Like, yes, you can hold my purse. Yes, you can do this for me.
Yes.
And like saying yes felt so good to receive that. And I agree. That's one of my big things that I'm working on, is receiving and not being right away like, oh, let me give it back to you.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. Yay, I'm so proud of you. And here's where it gets so much easier to accept and receive, when we see ourselves and we're seen and heard in our own power, and understanding like really truly understanding that we are a gift in this world. And it took me a while so I got an Akashic reading in year 2, like about 4 years ago. And I got an Akashic reading, and the woman said to me, you know, your core is freedom and love. And she's like, and you don't have to try so hard. You could walk in a room and say nothing, and then like everybody will shift, everybody will change. And I was like, that's cocky. Like, I remember saying it to me. I was like, I don't know. I don't think I can own that right now. But she's like, okay. She's like, I understand. That's a lot to hear. And I'm like, you said literally, like, I could walk. I'm here, and let the magic begin. Like, it's like, and like think about that out. Like, saying that out loud makes me even giggle today.
Yeah.
And it was 2 years ago. I did a retreat in the Outer Banks. It was my first retreat ever. And I remember standing in front of this room of 17 women who had never really truly met each other. A couple of them had, but virtually, but never in person. I'm standing in front of this room of 17 women going, holy crap, like, what did I just put myself into? But I was like, trust. I asked one question, girl, and 4 hours of conversation pursued. I stood there, and I held, like, this person saying like their deepest, darkest thing, walking across the room and hugging this one, and me too, and boom, 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 boom. And it just happened. And in that moment, I remember what the Akashic reader said. And she's like, you just got to be. Like, you just got to hold space. Like, that's your gift. And you're just there. And it just trust that. And in that moment, I was like, okay, I get it. This is magical.
The chills when you said that, like, so true. It's like, you are so powerful in the way that you walk in, because here it is. You don't judge. You see someone, you see their soul. And that's what I love about you, is you truly connect. There's no surface level there. You go deep, and exactly, you get to shine that light. Now, let me ask you too, we've got to wrap up soon. But how can people work with you or show up, or do you have some things going on? I would love for people to know, like, I love you and I get to see you. So how can someone else get to see you or work with you, or, have some sort of connect, because everybody needs a connect with you.
Thank you, girl. I love you. So the link, the destinymakers.net link down there, it really is the link to everything Coach Jackie. So first, I tell people, if you want to get my vibe, just hang out with me on Facebook. Let's be friends on Facebook, because I literally, like, I don't know just what it is. There's just something that just always channels through me. So I share everything. To Elena's point earlier, I share the good, the bad, the ugly, the highs, the lows. I share everything in my journey, because it's always a lesson for me that I know that if I share, it can help someone else. So that's a great place to get my vibe. I have a membership that is $55 a month right now until the end of June, and we're wrapping up our first year. And so then that investment's going to go up in July. But we meet 4 times live on Zoom for 90 minutes a month. And it's really like one of my clients calls it her battery charger each week, so that she can be more confident for the rest of the week. Everything that you've heard today is truly in that container, is like, and yes, I know people are like, but it's only 55. I know. And that container is so rich that everybody walks out more confident. You come in one woman, no matter what, there's going to be at least one thing that tweaks, turns, helps you see life differently after every meeting. It's a gift that I have in group containers. I'm able to help you see what you cannot see, and you can move forward differently. And the topics are all different, and we have guest speakers and stuff like that. I also run like quarterly masterminds. I'm in the middle of one right now. Another one won't start until a couple of months from now. I do retreats twice a year, which is one of my favorite things. Woo! They are life shifting. It's amazing what an in-person, like what happens in person, like how fast things can change when you're in that kind of container. I bring private chefs, I bring in masseuses, I bring in different experiences so that people can be in like the element of what they deserve and what they desire.
Yes.
and community, of course. But that also includes a mastermind it includes monthly coaching calls for 12 months. So no matter when you sign up for it, you get 12 months of coaching calls with me, group coaching calls. And then what did I forget? Oh, of course, I have one-on-one coaching. So if you want to, like I said, mentioned earlier, if you want, it's the foundation of what I do. If you really want, it's funny. It used to be the primary thing, and now I just love bringing groups together of people. So it's both of them just as important. So the one-on-one coaching is if you really want to, like, rubber hits the road, like I have a Kickstart program that is half of my regular rates. It's a 50% off from my regular rates to get started with me. I'm a believer too that when you're looking for that coach that's going to help you go to your next level, like truly, and own who you are, like you do need to know it's an energetic match too. So I tell people, interview coaches, meet different coaches. There's thousands of us out there, but really spend time with someone, whether it's in their introductory program, whether it's following them with, and then you'll know. And then the Kickstart program is the one that you can come in for 3 months and, is this the right coach for me? And then you're not committed for so long. You're going to love me anyway. So then you get to renew at the same rates and keep that rate for a long time, as long as you renew. But anyway, all these links are in that link. all these links are in that link. So, and then there's a connect call if you want to go deeper into something that we've talked about today.
So give yourself a gift and come to Jackie. And so, final thought, do you have a final nugget, a final little thought that you would love to leave everybody with? A quote, a thing, or what's your final message from the universe today for everybody?
It's such a funny question. I've done so many podcasts, and when you get to this question, I'm like, I don't know. There's so many, because I'm a natural born, like, storyteller.
You are,
and all that other stuff. So I just don't wait on like, if you have desires, like, don't wait on them. Don't think that it's like, too late or this and that. I mean, she's inside of you. Everything you need is inside of you. And I know when people say that, you want to punch them in the throat, because you're like, what do you mean everything's already inside of me? Why do I? But it truly is. And, like, I can tell you example after example of how, like, everybody comes back to, like, oh, okay, yeah, that was true already. And that once you awaken her, let her come out and play. If you think about play, you think about Elana, right? Elena's pure play. So let her come out and play, empower her and own her. It's never too late. I don't care. Most of my clients are somewhere between 40 and 70. So it's never too late.
So much. And love that you work with all walks of life and that everybody gets to work with you. So thank you so much for being here. My heart is so happy. You'll definitely be back, because we can talk for another hours, So
I love being with you, girl.
Great. And I'm Elena with Your Health Vibes with Elena, Thursdays bi-weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific time, to begin raising your vibration, heart, body, mind, and soul. Thank you, everybody, for being here. You can reach me at ef11ca@gmail.com or yourhealthvibes.com. We are newstreamingnetwork.com, home of Going Solo, Going Bold, WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network. And here we are today. Thank you so much. I love you, appreciate you, sending you all my love and hugs. And have a beautiful rest of the day, everyone. Bye for now.